Hold on to your hats, folks, because the Tamar Braxton and Jeremy Robinson drama is back with a vengeance. This time, it's bigger, messier, and juicier than ever. The internet is ablaze after Tamar's explosive Instagram story went viral. And trust me, you don't want to miss the details. So here's the tea. Tamar, who seems to be taking a page straight out of a soap opera, publicly blasted her ex, Jeremy Robinson, for allegedly leading her on. In a now-deleted Instagram story, she went all out, calling him out with a scathing message. Played me in my face for a 25-year-old. Sim H. Took my jewelry, took me to Turks, and all along had a whole tramp. I hate you, Jeremy Robinson. Ouch, right? It's like she's throwing shade with a shovel. The so-called tramp she's referring to is an Instagram influencer named Jaylyn H. And she's clearly been making waves.
So I'm chilling and I'm watching TV and I get a notification that my car got used. Look at the date. To the Four Seasons Hotel in New Orleans. Now, I know I'm not in New Orleans. So, yesterday, Rob comes in and he's like, well, it's y'all business now because people saying that I have mental health issues. And guess what? I do have mental health issues, but guess what? I am honest about my journey. And I have been honest about to this person about my journey. Those of you know who needs extra help with their mental health. It took me, at least 5 years to understand that I need, medication, especially after my sister Tracy passed, okay? All right, so, me and Jay, I called him and I'm like, yo, you stayed at the Four Seasons this weekend? And he was like, I did. And automatically you got an attitude. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cool, you know what I mean? No, we don't go together. It's very clear, but we have an understanding of our friendship, right? My card that was clearly used at the hotel for Mr. Jeremy Robinson and his guest, Miss J. Now, I don't know what y'all want me to do with that. Because when I had asked him about it, you get nasty with me and tell me, go take your meds. So when I posted it, I didn't post it to be nasty. I posted it because he told me go take your meds. And then I took it off because really the girl don't have nothing to do with it. She pretty and she young. And the truth is all of them are pretty and young. You know what I mean? And the truth is they were both following each other and commenting on each other. And so I just, figured that it was the lady, but it could have been 4 or 5 different other bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because he's my friend and we talk about stuff. It wasn't about that. It really, honest, the truth was about the fact that when I asked you about my card being used on one of your hoes or with a trip with your hoe, you're going to tell me go take my meds. So that's why we're here. And on top of that, so because y'all know, I don't want nobody thinking I'm lying. Last night you tried to cash at me back.
But hold your horses, because Jeremy wasn't about to let Tamar's accusations slide without a rebuttal. In a classic Instagram video comeback, he went on to clarify that he and Tamar aren't even an item anymore. Cue the gasps.
I can't keep being thrown under the bus because someone can't control their anxiety, and someone can't control these delusional thoughts about things that aren't real. In this situation, I'll be very clear. I've been single for the last 6 months. We have been trying to identify what that looks like, closing one chapter and figuring out what it's like to be friends again. I've been very specific about my boundaries. I've been very specific about where we stand as friends. Go date anybody you want. I'm gonna date when I'm ready. I am emotionally unavailable to you, and I'm physically unavailable to you. Now, I went to New Orleans. I booked my room at Four Seasons on booking.com and didn't realize that the card I'm using, which also ends in the same 3 last numbers, was tied to something that we booked several months ago. No harm, no foul. We're talking $900. Stop it. While I'm in New Orleans for a funeral, my really good 25 plus year friend who passed away, I spent time with his family. I extended my stay because I needed time to reset. I didn't stay with anybody at the Four Seasons. I'm not seeing anybody. Wasn't on a date, none of that. If I was, you're my friend. What do I have to hide about that? I'll just say cooler heads didn't prevail, and next thing you know, I'm on her story and I'm being accused of things which are just blatantly not true. I have never led Tamar Braxton on. I never will, nor will I. There are people, hate the name drop, but hey, Carlos King, you got me involved in this. You're part of the reason why we became friends. But I've been very clear about my boundaries. I've been very clear about wanting to have a friendship, but not to the extent that, friends don't throw each other on their stories and call each other out on stuff. Like, look, if there was a mix up with the card because of booking.com, that's a quick fix. It's already taken care of. I've already contacted the Four Seasons and they've already issued a refund and they charged my card. It's that simple. Where did this random woman come in that you called a tramp? Somebody I became friends with on Instagram like maybe 3 days ago? It's not cool, man. And the unfortunate reality is I thought that I could be friends and try to maintain some type of friendship, but that relationship is done. And I didn't want to come out and like 6 months ago and be like, hey, I'm single again, because then people are like, oh, you're sassy. What? This is the reason why I did it last time, because of this assumption that I'm leading somebody on and that I'm cheating. I have never cheated in my life. Find a woman that will tell you I cheated on her. It's messed up, and the truth is now there's potential defamation behind it because I don't even know this person, never met her in my life, never even had a DM with her.
Fans were left reeling, especially since Tamar had just showered him with pricey jewelry for his birthday in August.
Really grateful. I have done a lot to work on my mental health and change who I used to be into who I am now. And I can't help if people fall into that perception because it's easy. And I get it, But I won't let anybody hold me captive to my past and things that I have overcome.
Y'all, Tamar Braxton is straight up spiraling right now. And baby, it is not a good look. And guess what? Allegedly, it's all behind her man Jeremy Robinson, aka JR. Now, let's be real for a second. Anybody with eyes could have told sis for free that JR wasn't about nothing. But you know how it is. She wasn't trying to hear nothing from nobody when it came to him. Now, it's looking like JR's back on his trash, and he kicked Tamar to the curb. Sis is not taking this well at all. She hopped on social media and unleashed a full-on rant, dragging JR like he owed her money, saying he used her up and then tossed her aside. But hold up, JR was not about to let Tamar get the last word. Oh, he clapped back hard, spilling some tea that's gonna leave y'all straight up shook. So now the streets want to know, did JR really cheat on Tamar again? And did SS actually put hands on him? All right, let's break this all the way down. If you've been clocking Tamar and JR's relationship from the beginning, then you already know. This whole situation has been throwing up red flags like a referee at a football game. Actually, scratch that. They've had red asterisks flying high in the sky from day one, and this mess just keeps getting sloppier. We all saw the train wreck coming. These two met on that reality show, Queen's Court. And let's be real, that was already a walking, talking red flag right there. Y'all know how these reality TV love stories go. Fast and fiery, and it usually ain't long before they crash and burn. But hold up, as if that mess wasn't wild enough. These two got engaged just a few weeks after meeting. Now, I get it. Some of y'all out here really believe in love at first sight. And hey, sometimes when you know, you know. But let's be real, some folks fall hard and fast, swearing they've found their forever boo. That was definitely not the case here, though, because JR and Tamar, baby, they were a walking, talking cautionary tale. And let's not forget, Sis Tamar's already been down the aisle twice. And both of those marriages, whew, child, they were a whole hot mess from start to finish. Her first marriage, baby, that barely lasted a year before she was done. And trust me, that divorce was messy as hell, a real soap opera situation. Then she went and married Vince Herbert, and they even had a son together. Folks thought, okay, maybe she found her forever this time. But nah, after 9 long years, just when we thought they were solid, Tamar hit us with another divorce bombshell. And this time, oh, it came with all the extras. Diva drama, rumors swirling, and even a restraining order tossed in the mix. Whew, the tea is hot, honey. Now, you know, Tamar was front and center at Drama Central for a hot minute. But eventually, her and Vince decided to squash all that mess and focus on co-parenting their little man. Then she started dating David Adefeso. And Chile, let me tell you, that relationship was a whole hot, steaming mess. After that train wreck of a breakup, Tamar was out here telling everybody she was done with love, saying it was all about her healing journey. But y'all already know how that goes. Fast forward, and next thing we see, Sis is on a reality show called Queen's Court, talking about finding her so-called dream man. And that dream man turned out to be JR, at least for now. But let's not sugarcoat it, because JR came with his own set of baggage, honey. First off, let's talk about the big ol' red flag waving right in our faces. This man got 5 kids with 4 different baby mamas. Now, you already know that's a whole disaster just waiting to unfold. Trying to juggle drama with 4 baby mamas. Phew, messy doesn't even begin to cover it, especially when you throw Tamar in the mix. Sis needs to be front and center always. So you mean to tell me she's about to compete with 4 other women for JR's attention? Oh, it was a ticking time bomb from the start. Plus, we all know Tamar ain't the one to stay cool under pressure. She got that slick mouth and side eye that'll have her in the middle of some drama real quick. Dealing with a man carrying all these baby mamas, that's like holding a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode, baby. But anyway, JR showed up on Queen's Court like a man on a mission. And for some reason, he had his eye locked on Tamar from jump. Like she was the only woman in the room. Forget the other contestants. He was all about her from day one. And then, out of nowhere, he just popped the question after a few weeks. Of course, Tamar said yes. And you know, she squeezed out a few tears to seal the moment.
Oh my God. Love you, Tamar. Tamar, will you marry me?
Something told me to trust the process. And I've never done anything like this before. And what's the worst that can happen?
People waving red flags the size of houses getting engaged. Oh, honey, that was a whole spectacle just begging for a disaster. But what we didn't see coming was how quickly it all unraveled. One of JR's baby mamas took to social media to spill the tea, claiming JR was just using Tamar for clout and publicity. And baby, she dropped a bombshell about his strange fetish for black women and a history of preying on vulnerable women like Tamar. Talk about a mess. This drama just went into overdrive. 2 folks with red flags the size of billboards getting engaged. Now that was a whole spectacle just waiting to pop off. But what we didn't see coming was how quick it got messy. One of JR's baby mamas hit up social media, spilling all the tea, saying JR was only using Tamar for clout and publicity. And if that wasn't enough drama, she dropped a whole bombshell, claiming JR had a weird fetish for black women and a track record of preying on vulnerable women like Tamar. Whoo, Chile, the mess just kept getting thicker. Yo, this whole situation is a weird hot mess, no doubt. Fans were practically begging Tamar to run for the hills. She did eventually make a move, but baby, JR turned out to be even worse than we all thought. But of course, Tamar wasn't listening. She only hears what she wants to hear. Y'all know how she is. Remember I mentioned those 4 baby mamas? You just knew they were gonna stir up some drama for Tamar. It didn't take long for that pot to start boiling. The trouble kicked off when Tamar couldn't stop gushing about how much she loved JR and his kids. And once she started doing that, you already knew something was about to go down. She said, "It's my birthday, but I have to post the one who puts that TV smile on my face." It took me a while to realize that this wholesome, traditional love is the kind that I wanted and needed. We have 6 children between the 2 of us, and they mean everything to me, so I'm listening to that. He has 4 baby mamas. Thank God for them. Now, the way Tamar was going on and on about JR's kids, You'd think they were one big happy family, living in blissful harmony. But nah, baby. That was far from the truth. One of JR's baby mamas wasn't having any of Tamar acting like she was the queen of the castle. You know, that stirred up some serious drama. Baby mama jumped online and said, "Let me be clear, for all who know me and all who know them, this woman is in no way a bonus or stepmom to my son. My son does not mean everything to her, and thank God for that." Girl, let's be real. None of this baby mama drama is cute. She's thrown out some downright demeaning and disrespectful comments that are just outrageous. It's like she hasn't even bothered to come and meet me or get to know me as a woman or as a mother. Because of her antics, my son's father has missed out on precious visitation weekends and even his birthdays. Now, to his credit, Jeremy did make an effort to defend Tamar. He penned a note that said, "Tamar Braxton has always been an amazing mother and spoiled my children with love. Sometimes, a difference of opinion with no conversation to clear up miscommunication creates a bad cycle. I really want everyone to find their peace, and I'm doing my best to make that happen. But honey, despite all the drama, Tamar stuck by Jeremy's side, loving him even when he was out here humiliating her for no reason at all." It's honestly wild to think about, especially since her sister is the legendary Toni Braxton. This whole situation just screams embarrassment and desperation. And if you thought it couldn't get any messier, oh baby, it absolutely did. Out of nowhere, Junior woke up one day and declared to the world that he and Tamar were done. And just to twist the knife, he made it crystal clear that he was the one who dumped her, not the other way around. He wrote, "Tamar and I are no longer together. I ended the relationship to focus on getting back to positive energy and being a better person. What happened and why, that's a private place. No, I never cheated. I never cared about fame. I have always represented famous people, and the truth is I was in an amazing place. Financially and mentally, I turned down Queen's Court several times before I gave in. Ultimately, I fell in love, and it did not end how I wanted it. So I want to heal Tamar, and I will always be friends and family for life. But y'all, it gets even messier. Can you believe Tamar found out about the breakup from social media, just like the rest of us? JR didn't even have the decency to end things face to face, or even shoot her a text. And as if that wasn't enough to break her heart, he chose that very hour to dump her while her home and car were getting vandalized. Tamar wrote, "Imagine your home being robbed. Move into a new city, trying to find your new tribe, never finding where you fit in, and then finally settling in with at least one person you trust to get in your car, robbed and vandalized, then break up with a person you love and feel safe with, all in the same hour is too much." She also opened up about the breakup in a video where she pretty much denied being the reason for it. She claimed she's been putting in the work to be a better person, trying to rise above all the drama and chaos.